What's up, guys? It's DK here with Collector's Impact, and today I'm going to take you back to 1989, at a time when the NES was supreme and the gas station was the place to be, apparently. So today's video is focused around these 1989 Topps Nintendo pseudo-collectible, pseudo-gaming cards. It's a very unique product, and since I was going through some old boxes of mine and looking for various collectibles and cards, I came across this collection that I'd completed in the early 2000s of that 1989 set. So I figured, why not go ahead and make a video and show you guys what this set is all about. It's kind of an obscure item, so there's probably not a lot of coverage about it, honestly. And just real quick, if you don't mind, I got to do the general YouTube stuff. If you like this type of content, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It greatly helps with the channel and the algorithms and all of that, so it'd be super appreciated. And if you want to see more stuff like this in the future, or especially content about other collectibles, there are plenty of videos coming and already quite a few on the channel, so please subscribe if you would like to see some more of that from Collector's Impact. And back to the program. The set consists of 60 scratch-off cards and 33 sticker cards. What exactly does that mean? So, unlike traditional trading cards with Topps, they wanted to try something new and interactive with these particular cards since they're based off of games that you actually play. The only thing is, you play these games on your television, and trading card games had not come out yet. You know, this is '89, so the very first trading card game in the world, at least of notable significance outside of your standard 52 card playing deck, the first trading card game was Magic the Gathering, and that didn't launch on the scene until 1993. So honestly, with this product, Topps was a little bit ahead of their time in terms of trying to make an interactive game with cards that a lot of people could play, but the way that they chose to go about doing it is really odd, to say the least. So the concept here is each card features a different screen, in quotes here, from a video game. And each video game that they chose to focus on in this set has, I believe it's 10 screens per video game. And they chose several of the more popular titles for the day, for that day and age, which we'll get into that as we flip through them. But essentially your role is there's these little scratch-off bubbles, right, around the enemies and around your hero. And it's different in some of the other cards. But the overall objective here is you play as Link and you're trying to defeat this enemy, and you pick and choose various ones to scratch, and if you scratch the wrong ones, you pick the wrong door, you know, there he'll be kind of thing, you lose the game if you pick the wrong stuff. But if you pick the right stuff, then you win the game. What exactly do you win? I don't know, because then you end up with a card that has the scratched off bubbles, and most people just threw them away. So with that, having them intact with all of the scratch bubbles intact actually makes them pretty desirable these days. These used to be relatively affordable, but as the years have gone on and people have scratched the cards, there's just not a lot out there. So sealed boxes of this product, I think there's 48 packs in a box from this particular release in 1989. Those boxes now range from $300 to $500 any given day on eBay. So they're definitely not cheap. So I managed to pick these up in, I believe, 2004. I picked up 6 boxes. And at that point in time, I paid $15 per box. So pretty good ROI, all things considered. I have recently sold one of the boxes that I had. I had a couple of sealed ones. I sold one, and I have 2 that I've kept. But that's really about it. Then I opened the other ones, and I did sell some complete sets on eBay a long time ago, around the time when I actually opened the product. I built complete sets just like this one that you see here, and I put them in this notebook and sold them at auction, and they actually did pretty well. I mean, it was a pretty nice little endeavor for that time. I don't know how that would go these days, but it's not necessarily my main focus to try to actually flip the cards, at least raw. I am considering the possibility of sending some of these for grading. I mean, as you can see here, I haven't been narrating, but you can see what games are featured pretty easily. Super Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers 2, Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, one of my favorite NES games of all time. Yeah, it definitely is an acquired taste in the Zelda series, but once you get used to it, you love it. You've also got some Double Dragon action, Mario 2 still. The Double Dragon ones are pretty cool. I mean, their artwork is great. All of the artwork on here is pretty good. It's all inspired by like that Nintendo Power era of art and box art from the games. Obviously, back in those days, the video games did not have graphics like this. And now that I'm looking at the cards, it would actually be really interesting if Nintendo were to ever release like say a Mario game or Zelda game that's themed after this artwork. Wouldn't that be kind of interesting to see the little sprites on screen playing in like a pseudo-retro, pseudo-animated style throwback? You know what I'm saying? I'm just rambling now, but that would actually be really cool. Anyway, and then you've got some Punch-Out. So you got Punch-Out, characters. Yeah, Glass Joe there. I mean, just most of them are landscape. And then some, of course, are portrait. The Punch-Out ones, I think, are the only ones that are portrait. And of course, some of the stickers, which we'll get into on this page. So there's the last. This is you have seen pretty much every single scratch-off card in the set. And here are the 33 stickers starting. This, for whatever reason, it's the only one that had a box art featured on the sticker card was Super Mario 2. Which technically isn't even a Mario game, so of all of the games that are featured, I don't know why they chose that one. They did get some logos up in here, though. So you see some Legend of Zelda, you know, well, that's just Link and stuff. There is a logo later, but okay, here's one. Super Mario Brothers, boom. And look at that. Punch-Out with Little Mac, so that's cool. For any Smash Brothers fans, there's an original Little Mac sticker card from 1989. Things like that definitely seem like they could have some collectability to them. So I am considering potentially sending some of these, especially from this notebook and from a little pile that I had on the side of some of these cards, off the PSA for grading. I have set aside a small pile of ones that I've identified. I went through all of the cards that I currently have open and chose them out. And I'll show you those after we're done with the notebook here. But you get a nice peek at every single card in the set. So if you're a fan of Nintendo, of the NES era, and you like cards, you know, definitely research the ones that you see here that you might like to add to your collection. You could probably get the single cards for pretty affordable at the moment. Though again, these are very unique in the sense of what they are for cards. Like, these are technically stickers, so they're not actual cards with lots of information on them about the character themselves. And this is so weird to me, right? We've got a score to settle. I don't even... Now, this is just bad because I'm a huge Zelda fan, but I don't remember the what character that is. I mean, maybe the old hag that runs the potion shop or something, but I thought that wasn't until Link to the Past, but, you know, my memory these days, what can I say? But on the back of the sticker cards, you've got your top secret tips. So instead of describing what's on the sticker, they give you like little hints on what to do in the game. So the overall idea of these cards and where you could have actually bought them back in the day, this wasn't really like a card shop exclusive type of experience. This was more of a convenience store / gas station. You'd go in there, buy your candy and stuff while your parents pump their gas. Mom, I want some cards, kind of thing. That's what they were going for. Get the kids to get the cards off the pack on the counter as you bought your little candy and soda or whatever. And I think, you know, overall that probably worked pretty well. They did have some sequel sets. There were some sets in the early 90s. Only one that I'm aware of, though there probably were more. I'm not a huge expert on these or anything. But the sequel sets after 1989, those are actually a lot of money. Sealed boxes of those go for like $1,000 or more in some cases. So yeah, but this is the original base set, the 1989, and it's just such a unique product, so I figured that any fan of old 8-bit Nintendo games might get a kick out of seeing that. It certainly piqued my interest when I learned about them. Now let's see, let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the cards that I set aside for potential grading, if you're interested in that. And so the first card, it's just a small little pile here. So the first card is Screen 4. So it says Zelda Screen 4, and this is actually one of the rarer screens, believe it or not. Some of the screens definitely were more scarce than others in the box. That is something that I noticed big time. So in terms of rarity and collectability, I'm sure that there's not like a huge market for these, at least not at the moment. But if there ever were to be, finding the rarer screens and focusing on those would be good. This one is actually not a super rare one. There were a lot of these in my collection, but not in great condition. So I'm going for ones where there's no scratch marks at all on the little bubbles that you scratch off. That's what I'm trying for, is to get near perfect scratch bubbles and good alignment and good color and clarity and flatness of the card. And this one is just, I mean, that's classic. Like if these cards were to become popular or sought after, at least for some of the PSA 10s or things of that nature, for a couple of the key screens, this one you've got Mario, Bowser, and Princess Peach all together. I mean, it's just super classic. It's there is no other one in this whole series as classic and encompassing as that one. Next, I've got the Legend of Zelda sticker, with Link holding up a piece of the Triforce there. Overall, for what it is, it's pretty good. Very high quality. And then we've got some Double Dragon action here. And it's got a lot going on. Lots of scratch bubbles. Thought it made a good candidate. And Super Mario Brothers, just a nice sticker there. Rescue Zelda and Win. Super classic. And then, as I was mentioning earlier with those, I chose out 3 more of them. Anyway, let's go ahead and end on these two. So these 2 cards are just random ones that I grabbed out of the collection. They're not mint. You can see this one has ink from the actual printing process. I didn't put that there with a pen, at least not that I'm aware of. That's a defect out of the pack. So we've got Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, and Super Mario Brothers 2, and I figured we'd go ahead and play these cards. Let's see what the experience was like for someone in the late 80s to actually buy and use the cards. So why not, right guys? So let's start with Mario. So the interesting thing about these is each card has their own rules for how to play. So for this one, screen 5 of 10, you have to find 3 arrows to win, and if you find 3 misses, you lose. Super straightforward rules on that one. So you're Mario, you're trying to bloop, 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 and try to get over there. So that's why you need your 3. So I figured, here we go. So here's a penny for scratching, and this one here, it's a 2020 penny. So it's definitely going to bring us good luck, right, guys? Can't even say that with a straight face. Look, see what I mean? Doesn't even freaking scratch. 2020 is just not welcome anywhere. Okay. I might have to find a different scratching implement. The card has summarily rejected 2020, as we all should. Alright, hang on. Alright, I'm back. Let's try this Allen wrench. Yeah, there we go. Does that work? No, not really. Damn, these cards must be so old that they're just... the little scratching bubbles are broken. Well, there you go, guys. If you were actually trying to play them in 2021, it's going to be a lot harder than it looks. Damn. Had no idea. Let's just try for a fingernail. This is strange. Completely unintentional. I had no idea that these wouldn't scratch. Okay. Now I'm kind of weirded out by that. Well, now you see what you're gonna get though if you're gonna if you're gonna try to play them. Hang on, let's try something else. Well, guys, as you can see here, I've been trying to go at this with like a screwdriver, and it's just not working. So that's really strange. I was not expecting to encounter that. So I'm assuming that over the last 32 years, the the little scratch off area has just completely fused with the card. So maybe if you get it pack fresh where it hasn't been exposed to any air at all, then maybe it'll work. Like I chose these out because these weren't really stored properly. Versus these, the ones in the notebook that I showed you, those were stored properly. This particular card comes from a different little box that was not stored properly. So note to everyone out there, if you are going to get these, make sure that they are or were stored properly. So yeah, if you actually want to play them. But though you can see right away, at least I do get the point across that once you scratch them, that's how they look. They just usually have a little thing underneath them to show you what it is. But the card is ruined after you scratch it, after you play it. So the most logical thing to do is toss it in the trash. So let's go ahead and try this Link one, the Adventure of Link. I would like for one of them to work. Let's bring back the 2020 penny and see if it can get some redemption. You know, since 2020 is over, there is no redeeming that year, but let's see if the penny can get redemption. And that would be a strong no. So honestly, sorry about that, guys. I was hoping we could actually play a game of them. Jeez. Alright, well, bottom line, if you got them and they're not scratched, don't scratch them. They look a lot better than that. So, yeah. And I would kind of describe it as, I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it, but let's be real. So you buy them in the gas station at the counter. It's scratch off. It's aimed at younger people. If that's not training for some for some scratch off lottery tickets later in life, I don't know what is. So I don't know. This is a pretty unique product, to say the least. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely, if you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithms and everything with YouTube. The thumbs up mean a lot to me. I'd really appreciate it. And also, if you want to see more content like this, or more specifically content around collectibles and PSA grading and market conditions for various collectibles, Magic, Pokemon, Marvel cards, DC cards, stuff like this, definitely subscribe to the channel. Would love to see you on the subscriber list. And I thank you very much for coming by and checking out the video. And I hope you had fun, checking out these random old cards from 1989. Take care, guys.